why don't you give us a little bit of a backstory on what inspired and what motivated you to get in shape and adapt this lifestyle?
Well, like you, I was an athlete as a kid. First picked in PE. I played volleyball, basketball, soccer, swimming, gymnastics. And I ran track. And my freshman year in high school, I tried out for the volleyball team and I made it. But during the summer, I had trained for cross country. And my track coach was like, "Why did you just try out for volleyball?" I'm like, "'Cause I want to try it." And so I said, "I'll come for indoor." And then I tried out for basketball and then I made the team and he's like, "Oh my gosh." So he had been following me since middle school because I was the regional champ in the 1320, which is the 1200 meter, 3 laps. And then he finally got me my at the end of the my freshman year for outdoor track. And during that time, he forced me to do hurdles. And I was not happy about it. I was a little feisty back then, and so he and I shared words many times. But he was an all-American hurdler, and he saw something in me that I did not initially see myself. And by the end of my senior year, I had the second fastest time in the state of Virginia. So he knew what he was doing, and also like you, I had colleges courting me, and I narrowed it down to Virginia Tech and BYU, and then I got stress fractures, and I kept running on them, and I spent my time before practice in the trainer's room, throwing my leg in one of those ice bath whirlpools just to kind of numb the pain. And then she'd put icy hot on my shin and then wrap it up like that was gonna, fix the issue. And I kept running on it, and then I almost shattered it. So my college opportunities ended before they even started. So, yeah, and then I went to college and I just played volleyball through college. I never ran again. And I don't know, I sort of stayed active, but I had never had to lose weight before in my life until um, I had my first child. And I'm like, oh, she's 6 months old and I still have 20 pounds to lose. This really sucks. So I had never paid attention to calorie counts on things. When I was pregnant, I was like, all right, we're going to have Starbucks hot cocoa twice a day. So, and then looking back, that was 1,300 calories of hot cocoa in a day. And yeah, so when she was 6 months old, I'm like, I got to figure out what to do. Cause, I did sports, but I never like worked out. Working out was going to practice. And so I was very untrained in that department. And so I went onto Google and I Googled fastest workout to get the most effective results because I just wanted to get it done. I wanted to be back to where what my pre-pregnancy weight was. And so that's when I discovered Tabata and HIIT workouts. And that's what I did. And I did it 3 times a week and I lost all 20 pounds in 2 months. Oh, and I also, I I put myself on a diet. I really limited my calories, and then once that 2 months was up, when I lost all that weight, I'm like, "Well, I guess I can eat again, so this is good." And so I just kept with HIIT and Tabata from that point on through my next 4 pregnancies. I never gained the amount of weight that I gained that first time, and I was able to bounce back every single time.
So were you still using Tabata and HIIT all throughout your 4 pregnancies then, or was there a certain cutoff
Oh,
point where
yeah.
you're like, "Oh, I gotta stop doing it now?"
Yeah, usually around 38, 39 weeks. My husband's like, "You gotta stop." I'm like, "No, you don't understand. I have to bounce back." So, yeah, I took it to the end. I mean, I would take the intensity down as my belly got in the way. It's hard to do, squat jumps when you're carrying 25 pounds on your stomach. So, um, yeah, I took it all the way to the end of every pregnancy.
Wow. So and yeah, just I mean, that really helps too because I mean, I started this podcast almost 2 years ago and I've had guests come on and there still was that myth that, oh, you shouldn't train so hard when you're pregnant or you shouldn't really go be that active, but I think it's been busted, that I mean, as long as you had that active lifestyle ahead of time, it's more than safe to continue doing it. So that's why I love bringing up that question, but like when you were getting started, I mean, HIIT is a very high intensity workout for anyone that doesn't know that's what it stands for, high intensity or high interval training. But it's a very intense thing to get started. And do you find that it was hard for you to really get the gist of things at first? Because I feel like for a HIIT workout, someone needs to be like in really great shape just to get into that because it's so high, it's so intense.
Yeah, I'm sort of a balls to the wall right out the gate type of girl. So, I wanted to lose the weight and I was motivated. And, by the end of those workouts, I'd feel ill. I'd have headaches from exertion, but it was worth it to me because I wanted to get my body back. Because after having a baby, I mean, for me, it was so depressing what the aftermath of what you're left with. So, I was very motivated to get back as quickly as possible. And so, sometimes they tell you not to work out until like 6 to 8 weeks after the baby's born. With most of mine, I started around 3 to 4 weeks just because I wanted to get back. So don't tell my doctor.